Damian Gardiner. You're right, Ian. I'm with a smile like that guy has. Who wouldn't have him as a favorite? He is a great rider. He's been competing with this stallion, Arthos, for a very short period of time. He doesn't know the horse extremely well, but he has got such a feeling about riding a horse over these jumps. He gives them confidence and trust.
A young man that was raised on the back of the horse. His family runs a dairy operation in County Mayo. Damien attributes his success in horses to the time he spends with them outside of the tournament ring, walking them in the morning, spending time to get to know them.
He really does know them, and he talks to them, and he's always encouraging them. I have to say, I thought he was taking a bit of a chance with a very slow considered gallop to jump number 1, but you gotta give him credit because he's got Arthos jumping clear so far. This stallion has got offspring actually competing as well at the North American Championships. He's a neat horse. He's had a lot of experience. A lot of the great riders have ridden this horse.
You think of the likes of Half Hansen, Michael Endicott, Will Simpson. They've all had experience on this horse at Spruce Meadows. Damian Gardiner has the mount for 1995, and he loves this going and the challenge of the conditions.
Arthos is a little bit like one of those stalwart defensemen that goes and plays every season for a new franchise.
Free agency and show jumping as Damian Gardiner sets up for the final line here in the American Airlines connection.
2 fences left, and we could see Damien in the jump off of the American Airlines connection. Just 1 jump to go. And he does it. He clears the finish line within the time allowed, and we have 3 coming back for the jump off.
They enjoyed a clear score.
Damian Gardiner back in with another mount. Piñon, Patriot, and Oldenburg stallion.
Again, from Richard and Nancy Block's Pinon Farm in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We pick them up there as they've come through the Los Alamitos lane toward the in-gate, coming up to the big Brookside vertical here at fence number 7, and the triple combination coming up next.
Already been clear on Pinon Muldoon, and this is Katja from the Pinon Farm.
Again, this is a new ride for Damien. All the Pinon Farm horses are a new ride for him. He's done extraordinarily well getting used to them, and he was clear and had a 2nd place finish earlier in the week with Katja, so she should be right on target today.
He's taking a nice long bend around there, not to get any problems on 5.
You can see he's going wider in the turn and really building up here for the water. And he has beautiful elevation, easily across the back rail.
So, Mary, he gave time to the 2 potential problems, and maybe he'll try to make that up at other areas of the course.
Absolutely, and this is where the experience comes in. You saw he made a nice tight turn there. He's got this mare jumping beautifully today.
You're listening to Mary Ting. I'm Lee Felsmo. Mary Ting, the defending champion of this Grand Prix, $50,000 Grand Prix from High Prairie, and she will be competing on Tuscany, number 22 of 28 rider combinations.
Damien's going to be well within the time. You can see from his track, he's very direct between the fences. Now he might need to slow down just a little bit to get this last line done.
Can't clear the triple, and the 4 falls so close. He had such a calculated ride. Mary Ting, who did not qualify for the jump off, to our dismay, but we'll have her here for the jump off as an analyst. She was on Tuscany, got 8 faults. But we've got a field of 12 horses going for the doe. And talk to us about the course, Mary.
Well, the course, Leaf, is a shortened course. You're going to see that it still does cover a lot of ground. There's room to really gallop and use your turnbacks. I think Damien going first here is going to go all out. He's got nothing to lose. He's going to try to set the pace, and I think you're going to see a very fast ride.
Damian Gardiner riding Piñon Muldoon. Don't forget now, he qualified first. He was the first out of the chute and got no faults, which is very, very difficult. Now again, Mary, the challenge here is to get a great time in the jump off, being the first one up, the one everybody's going to go to school on. They'll watch him, see what he does right, see what he does wrong.
Well, he's got another horse later on in the jump off. He's doing a fabulous job. He jumped one and tore up the hill to the second jump in the jump off. He's using all of his ability to find these distances flat out on the run. We have this single vertical downhill and then a very sharp turn left and one more vertical. That's going to post a great time.
Clear round time to beat will be posted by Damian Gardiner. 38.714.
Very quick time. 38.714.
And no faults. What a day for this horse.
I think Damien set out and did just what he had hoped.
Damian Gardiner, the job is simple. Just get it done. He needs a clear round or at worst a 4-fault performance to stay alive in the Krysler Classic. He's riding the very talented Piñon Finnigan. They were second place in the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. And Damian Gardiner loves a derby.
He loves the derby, is an Irishman, and he's an aggressive rider. He fights all the way. You know, he's pulling, he's jerking, he's active. I call him a little bit of a leprechaun.
Leprechaun, an active rider. You can see him getting Piñon Finnigan on the bridle, heading into that blue and white test. Very difficult in and out. We saw it take its toll on Andrew Philbrick earlier in today's competition. Each of these obstacles present a certain and unique test to horse and rider. There's no room to let up or catastrophe can strike on course, as Damien really seems to be trying to get Finnigan to pay attention to the hands.
And I find, Ian, the riders that are riding this course well are riding it aggressively. They're riding to the jumps, but they're not going crazy. You know, they're not getting the horses flat out. They take their time and they get reorganized every once in a while and really try and do a good job here.
Let's see what he decides to do here over the skinny whites, and he should have listened.
He should have jumped the wall, but hindsight is 20/20.
He has no room for a mistake now. He's got his 4 faults. If he wants to stay alive in the quest for the Crystal Pentastar, he must go clean the rest of the way.
And that means he has to jump the Devil's Dyke, coming right up. Clear. Here we go. Can he do it?
The pressure's on Damian Gardiner.
In
Nicely.
okay? A hard rub, but he does it.
Listen to the fans on hand, some 35,000 strong, now anticipating a 3-horse jump off here in the Krysler Classic. 150 seconds our time allowed.
He's got 3 jumps left to force a jump off.
The planks caught up with Laura O'Connor. Will the Irish team of Damien and Finnigan get it done?
And they make it.
Indeed they do. 4 jumping faults, 136.07. Damian Gardiner will be sick about what happened at the skinny white poles. Laura O'Connor looks over her shoulder to see that she will be jumping off to date against
Piñon Finnigan.
This horse was just second in the North American Championships at Spruce Meadows in the Queen Elizabeth Cup.
He was about a half, what is that, he's 5/100ths of a second slower than our first place time. So
doesn't
he is
get
right
much
there.
closer than that.
And he established that on the very first ride of this jump off.
This turn is crucial. If he can find it coming forward, which he does, he keeps the jump up. He should be very quick up to here.
3:824 is the time, and 3:824 will slide him into first place. So Damian Gardiner, what a ride for him and Piñon Finnigan.
Incredible ride, and what he really did was he took his time, he measured the last line, he added the step back in because he was quick everywhere else, and it certainly paid off.
You can see Damian Gardiner is going to take a running start from the top of the bank aboard Fair Dinkum.
And he's revving up and he is heading down. Here he comes. The great Irish rider, Damian Gardiner. A thrill for the crowds to watch this man ride.
He'll be hand galloping around this course all week long, as some of the athletes were rather down on the conditions. He was just saying, cork them up and let's go jump. Now let's see if he can do it with a 5-second penalty.
He's got a lot of time to make up, 5 seconds. And he's got 2 of the most difficult fences on the course left. This one, which he clears. And the turn to jump number 9. Coming up here, talking to his horse, saying hope, and he clears it. What will he do here, the 1 or the 2 strides? Does the 2, and it didn't pay off. He was in, he should have gone for the 1.
Josh Stranahan sighs a big sigh of relief as Damian Gardiner finishes up with a running time of 59.29. 10 seconds in penalties, however, mean he's out of the cards today with 1 entry that can challenge this man at the top of the leaderboard, and what an entry it is. The 1992 North American Show Jumping Championship combination of Mark Laskin and Piñon Sullivan getting ready to come into the ring. These guys are congratulating Josh before this tandem, a formidable tandem, comes into the ring, the Irish-bred gelding Sullivan.
Pretty sure of themselves, aren't they?
Mark Laskin with his game face on. Mark Laskin into the ring aboard Piñon Sullivan. We had the Irish rider, now it's the Irish gelding. Mark Laskin sizes up the course and salutes the center of the ring, where Gary Donaghy has been receiving the salute from each of the athletes today prior to their trip around the Nortel.
Well, Mark has not called on this horse Sullivan much this year. He's been saving him, and he is a top gun, this horse Sullivan, in a speed competition.
This young mare just was so fabulous in the first round, and all Damien has to do, well, it's no small feat, but he's got to keep the jumps up and he'll win again.
On the west coast of Ireland, the stormy west coast, in County Mayo and Sligo, where he learned to ride, he faced days similar to this. You see the muck of the footing, the torrential rain, wearing the rain jacket. If he goes clear, he is our champion.
He may have faced it, but I'm sure that Piñon Lili has not seen anything like this, and she is just jumping her heart out, Paul. I am so impressed with this horse.
2 remaining. And ahead of the pace so far, fastest on course. 1 remaining.
In this last jump, he doesn't have to take any big shot here. He knows that he can win if he just keeps this jump up. Nice distance. There's your winner.
Damian Gardiner, the Irishman. For the 2nd consecutive year.